Our special guest today is Kaajal Chandiramani. She is the top female Sindhi singers today worldwide, and we are going to talk to her about how she got interested into singing, also about her journey into the Sindhi music, and also she sings some Hindi music as well. We'll talk about that. And in 2006, she made a trip to Pakistan, which is really the birthplace of Sindhi culture. We'll talk about that as well. So, Kajal, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
And last night we had a great time listening to you with the Sindhi program there.
Thank you.
So, we are going to talk about a lot of things.
Yes.
But let's start with Sindhi singing. At what age you started and how you got into singing?
See, like you just said, my grandfather was a very big personality in the Sindhi community. He was called the cultural ambassador of Sindhis worldwide. And what he did was, because there was constant music going on in the house. So I think genetically I'm blessed. It's in my genes.
Sure.
I've inherited that music from him. And because all the time there were talks of music or programs going on, even in our house, in my grandfather's house, every Monday night there used to be a musical gathering from 9 to 11, every night.
And the gathering used to be in Sindhi or in all type of
That
music?
was 99% Sindhi, but
Okay.
people who didn't sing Sindhi could sing anything else. And if I'm not mistaken, I know, as I've heard this, that even Mukesh ji used to come, and all these Hari Om
The famous
Sharan ji,
singer, yeah.
yes, Hari Om Sharan ji and all used to come, and it was called Chonki.
Mhm.
So this Dada's Chonki was very famous. So people from all over the world, whoever came to Bombay, would go to his house on Monday night, knowing that Chonki has to be there. And that tradition continued for about 40 years till my grandfather was alive.
Okay. When did he
So-
pass away?
He passed away in 1987.
1987.
Yes. So as a child, even when I came to Bombay, I lived in Ahmedabad. But when I came to Bombay, and I knew that this chonky was going to happen. So even as a kid, if I went to sleep, they would wake me up, and I had to sing.
Mhm.
So it was just there. I grew up.
So when was your first public performance? Like formal public performance?
Formal public performance was at the age of 15 or 16. That was in Jaipur. That was my first program. Yes, and
And what do you remember the first song you sang there?
I do.
Okay, which one was that?
I'll sing it for you. I'll
Yeah,
sing
that would
two
be
lines
fantastic.
for
Yeah,
you.
I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. It's about the mother tongue, the motherland, Sindh.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about the poet's love for the mother tongue and the mother language, It goes like this. Sindh mein jiya maa, Sindh mein jiya maa, Suhat hai jiya mata, cha likhi, cha likha, cha likhi, cha likha. हिक कलम हिकड़ो मां किया पूरो पवा छा लिखी छा लिखा छा लिखी छा लिखा. The meaning is, Sindh munji amma, Sindh is my mother. Suhat tuhil matha, over on your beauty. What can I write? I have just one pen and it's just me. And your beauty is so vast and abounding and boundless. I don't know what to write. How can I describe your beauty in words?
So now let's talk about the birthplace of Hindi, which
Yes.
was, of course, at that time it was India, and now it is part of
Yes.
in Pakistan.
Yes.
You were saying that you visited there in 2006.
Yes.
So tell us, how was that experience? And
Oh, that was a beautiful experience. I was invited there by a very renowned saint of the Sindhi community, Sai Sadhram Sahib ji. And that again, it goes back years and years, and where our legendary saints have been born. Sant Kavarram belongs to that. That's the birthplace or the place from where Sant Kavarram was known. So I had the honor and privilege of being there and going to that samadhi and actually sitting there and singing. And they have an annual feature of, they call it the Mela, which happens every year, twice a year, but I was invited for the one which was in April or May. And they have like 50,000 people listening to you all night. The thing goes on, and you go on singing these Sindhi kalams.
So how you were received there in Pakistan?
Oh, with a lot of warmth. Yeah. The people there have so much love, a lot of warmth and affection. Yes, that was a memorable trip for me, really memorable. And I will want to add to this, after I finished singing over there, I even had the chance to go and visit my ancestors' homes.
Oh.
My grandfather, my paternal grandfather lived in Karachi and at Clifton, so we hunted and we found the big mansion that they had left. And I even saw my grandfather, my Professor Rampanimani's house in Larkana. So it was very nostalgic, very nostalgic. Yes.
Excellent. Now, other question for you is that you have performed, in front of Sindhi community all over the world, right? And what has been your experience? What you think that where the whole, if you go worldwide, because the Sindhi population is a lot of transplants everywhere they are. How that is trying to preserve the Sindhi culture worldwide, and what is happening?
See, I feel that these gatherings that happen anywhere in the world, it could be a big gathering, it could be a small gathering. But the minute even 50 Sindhis are there and you revive all these old Sindhi songs, especially the ones my grandfather used to sing, and instantly people just connect with you. And Sindhis love music, they love to dance, they love food, you know that. So the minute you sing these songs and everybody comes up with their own stories of how they are connected with that song and their own memories. So I think it's a very beautiful way of bonding with Sindhis all over the world.
So now, of course, you live in India, you travel all over, you are exposed to all different type of cultures. So when I see Sindhi, what couple of things comes to your mind? I know I'm putting on the spot here, but
no, it's fine. See, when you say Sindhi, I feel the first thing that comes to my mind is pride. I'm very proud to be a Sindhi because the heritage that we have, it's a beautiful, very rich language. If you read the poems written by Sachal Sai and Sami and Shah Latif, they're so deep. These Sufi saints, the treasure that we have, I think we've not even touched the tip of it. It is so rich.
So what makes the Sindhi songs? You think the Sufism plays a big important role there?
Yes, that is the root of Sindhi music. That is absolutely the root. And nowadays what we sing is maybe the new version, like a fusion thing of even all the Hindi film songs. That's what's happening. There's a fusion thing happening, which is fine. You move out with the times. But basically Sindhi music is Sufi music. Totally deep and filled with spirituality.
So any impact of Sindhi music on Bollywood?
Definitely. Definitely.
Give us some example.
See, not maybe a literal example, but I think all Bollywood music or any music for that matter comes from folk music. Any music, whether it's Gujarati music or Punjabi folk or Sindhi folk, it comes from there. Music is, now we have the lighter versions, but it's all from the folk traditional music that our ancestors have given us. Yes.
Now, as a singer, what are your favorite songs?
Oh my God. I have so many.
Okay, let's go with top 3.
I have so many.
Top 3 without order.
I'll first tell you my favorite singers, then I can go with the songs.
Okay.
My most favorite singers are Lata Mangeshkar ji, Asha Bhosle ji, and Jagjit Singh. They are, he means his music is
absolutely
is amazing.
He really popularized Kajal. Everybody, common people could relate with him. So now let's talk about your songs.
Favorites? Okay.
Yeah. I said that 3 songs, so you can pick one from each.
Okay. I'll go with the first one.
Okay.
I'll sing 2 lines first.
Okay.
लग जा गले के फिर ये हंसी रात हो न हो शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो लग जा गले से.
Beautiful, excellent. Yeah, what a beautiful song.
Thank you. It's a beautiful song.
Yes. And next one.
There are many, but whatever's coming to my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
तुम न जाने किस जहां में हो गए हम भरी दुनिया में तन्हा हो गए तुम न जाने किस जहां में हो गए.
And one more.
One more. Okay. I'll do one of Jagjit Singh ji.
Okay, sure.
तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया.
So now, when you sing in the public performance,
जी.
what goes through your mind as you were singing the songs? So like last night, you sang that, the sadhana song,
Yes.
So what really goes through mind when you were singing?
I'll tell you something. I want to confess. I normally never prepare. I don't know what I'm going to sing on stage.
Okay.
Maybe the first song, yes. Once I'm on stage, I know I'll start with this, and then I honestly just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because when I finish one song, the next song is telling me this is what is going to come now. The song stops to you,
Okay.
and the vibe that I get from the crowd, from the public.
So the public is important there.
Yes. The public is important. See, like if you give people who don't understand very heavy Sufi poetry and you go on giving them heavy Sindhi kalams, they're not going to understand a word of it. So last night also, whatever little I sang, I explained to them that this is what this means. Because when you explain, it becomes easier. And so many people came up to me and told me, oh, after you explained, we really enjoyed the song much more. We didn't know this is the meaning. So you have to interact with the crowd. And as I go on singing, the songs just fall into place. I know after this, ye gana chahiye. That's how you interact with the public.
So now I'm asking you the question again is, so when you were singing, and I know public is important and you do this part.
Yes.
What, like for example, like last night you were singing or just now you sang Alak Jagale.
Yeah.
So as you were singing, what goes in your mind? What do you think?
I enjoy the music. I just drown myself in my notes.
Okay.
And the feedback that I get from the public inspires me even more. Especially when I sing devotional songs. 9 out of 10 times, unless I'm in a different phase of mind, but 9 out of 10 times when I sing a bhajan or a prayer, I actually get lost in that song. So sometimes it even happens that whether there are 10,000 people sitting there or 100 or 10, for me it's like my own communication.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Now let's talk about the legacy, and the future of Sindhi culture and music and language. How do you look at that for the next, say, 30, 50 years?
I won't say the future is very bleak because again I give credit of late since the last 3-4 years. This new trend has come up, the social media. Like about 5-6 years back, I would perform a lot, even all over India and abroad. But it was not very common that you post all these things on Facebook or Instagram for that matter.
Sure.
So now, since about 5-6 years, I think I wouldn't be very wrong if I said that I was maybe the first few who started doing this about 5-6 years back. And wherever I performed, I would post it on Facebook. So what has happened over the years, awareness has developed. So now we have quite a few singers in India also who are now posting everything wherever they're performing. So it's like a new wave that has built up. Over the last 2-3 years, I have realized this. Everyone, even if it's a small performance, it's a known singer, unknown singer, upcoming singers, youngsters, they are posting this news on Facebook. So what? Everyone's saying, oh, this one's singing, oh, this one's singing, oh, this is a new kid on the block. Which is a very nice thing that's happening. And youngsters are getting encouraged.
So how, then let me ask you a question related with this.
Yes.
How you think this modern technology has changed music?
I think what it has done to all kinds of music. See that today we are living in the instant coffee world.
Yes, true.
Everything is instant gratification. Earlier songs, the music directors, the singers, the writers, the musicians used to work on one song maybe for a month, and they used to take hours to record in the studio. Today, a brand new song can be done in 5 or 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to be there. I could be sitting in India and somebody could be sitting in Boston, and we could have a song ready in like 5 hours or 6 hours. So the amount you put in, that's what you get. So if I'm doing something so fast and so instantly, it's not going to live that long. Even now, if you listen to the old melodies, you remember every word. You even remember the music interludes.
Sure.
Because that's so beautiful. And there's labor and love and pain that has gone. Not that I'm not putting the musicians or music today down. I'm not saying that. But today everything is aaj hai kal nahi hai.
Right. Yeah.
It's the what do you say? Shelf life is very short.
Very short. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely
very
true.
short.
Absolutely true.
Very short.
That's
But you have to move with the times. It's the time of fusion. If you give people just same old folk songs or very heavy, they get tired. So even kids want the new kind of music.
So now again talking about kids here.
Yes.
Do you also teach singing to kids and all, or not? Not yet. You are not.
I won't say I teach. I don't know that much that I'm not in a position to teach anybody. I'm myself a student.
Okay.
Because you're always a student of music. You never know enough.
Okay.
It is such an atha samandar that इसमें जितना डूबो उतने और मोती निकलते हैं. तो मैं इस लायक हूँ ही नहीं कि मैं कुछ किसी को सिखा सकूं. But yes, I guide if someone comes to me, and especially with the Sindhi pronunciations or a little voice modulation, I guide. Yes,
so now when you travel overseas and you meet the children of Sindhi parents who are born outside, they're still young.
Yes.
Do they come and talk to you and ask you questions? Or
yes, they do. There are so many who say our children are interested in music. How should they go about it? So I tell them, okay, you WhatsApp me or you call me when you're sitting to do your riyaz. You tell me, I'll correct you if I feel something. I keep telling them, and yes, now youngsters are showing an interest.
Yeah. I think that's what the technology has done. It has.
Yes. It's just brought us closer.
Closer, yes.
Yeah, over Skype and all that, we can do all that.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And tell me about some of your performances which you have really enjoyed and which has left you a lasting impression. Oh, that performance was good. And why?
The one in Pakistan was a very memorable one.
In the one in 2006?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. That was one of my... Because when I was singing, first of all, there was a mammoth crowd. It was a huge, huge crowd. And the other thing was
like roughly how many people in it?
I think 40,000-50,000.
40,000.
As far as my eyes could see.
Okay.
And it was at 4 a.m. in the morning when I went on stage. That was when I was asked to go and sing. And when I was singing, especially this song, we have a beautiful Sant Kanwarram's bhajan, Kalam, Nale Alakhaje, which is a favorite worldwide and my favorite too. And when I sang that, the saint, Sai Sadram Sahib, who's there, he was so moved, so he came up on stage and he went on showering his blessings on me, and there were like 100 people crowding me and going on showering me with their blessings. So that was a very charged performance. That is one which has stayed with me.
Can you sing just one line of that?
Sure. I'll do that. Ho nale alakh je bedo taare mohinjo, ho nale dhaniya je bedo taare mohinjo, aya nidhar nimani nidhar aya nimani, mukhe aadhar तुझे आहे आधार तुझे नाले धड़िया जे बेड़ो तार मुझे.
Beautiful, excellent. Yes. So, where you think you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Oh, in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I have very big dreams.
Okay, let's yeah, some, yeah.
One of my biggest dreams is to have a Sindhi song which is heard worldwide, like international blockbuster. You know, even people who don't know the language Sindhi, I want them to hear it. You know, like there is some songs which are, you don't know the language, but they are so popular. So that is my dream. Yeah, I want to have one song which is like.
So now talking about that, the one, whenever we think about Sindhi songs, Jhule Lal, that's the
Yes.
one thing comes right away.
Yes.
And I think you sang it also that last night
Yes,
too. Yes,
I did.
yeah. And what are the other some of the songs, like iconic songs?
Oh, we have the song Ho Jamalu, and when there are weddings in the family, we have this Hikku Sona Jo Rupayo. These are very popular songs. Any true Sindhi in the world will know these songs. Okay, and then this Alai Je Chame Razia. So all these are very popular Sindhi songs. Yeah.
What do you think made this that Jhule Lal so popular? Like, it instantly it became.
I think the pioneer was my grandfather. Because what happened is once they came from Pakistan, they were all refugees and they were scattered all over India and the world. So when my grandfather, and most of them were homeless, moneyless, penniless. So what he would do is he would take this matka, this earthen pot, and he would play on that and he would sing these Sindhi songs one after the other with shairis in between. And people would donate. People would put 10 rupees, 5 rupees, 20 rupees in that matka, and at the end of the program that matka would be filled with money. And then my dada, we used to call him dada, dada would empty that full matka and give it to wherever he went to sing, so that those people would get that much money to maybe provide food or shelter or clothing for the refugees who are living there. That's how it started. And Jhule Lal is actually Varun Day. So dada would say, let's make this like a greeting or a nara for Sindhis, Ayo Lal Jhule Lal. Or you meet a Sindhi, you'll say, Sai Jai Jhule Lal. You know, so that was like the binding factor because you were scattered. People were like shattered, you know. So that is how it started. Jhule Lal was made popular by my grandfather.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Now, tell me a little bit about him.
I fall short of words to describe him. He was such a magnetic personality. He was an amazing person.
And when he is the one who came from Pakistan to India, right?
Yes.
And when he came with nothing.
Nothing.
So did he talk to you about, your family, that what happened when he came, what he did?
Yes, he came last. Actually, he sent my mother and my grandmother and all the ladies and the kids came before him because they were still trying that maybe we can stay on, but he came later and he got he became a professor at Jai Hind College in Bombay. Yes. And earlier I think they first went to Junagadh and then they came to Bombay. So it was a tough life.
So what is the one thing you learned from him?
From him?
Yes.
Oh, two things.
Okay.
He was like most musicians or artists, he was very temperamental and he was quite short-tempered. So if someone on stage wasted time thinking, he didn't like. He was like, just, don't break the link. Just go with the flow. Don't spoil that. And the other thing he said, whether you have musicians, the best ones, you have few, you have more, you have less, just sing. The show has to go on. Don't be dependent on anyone. If you have two, sing. If you have nobody, sing. If you have 10, sing. So the show has to go on. Don't be so dependent on anybody. Give your best no matter what.
So, like, for example, last night I noticed that when you were singing, you kept on singing and singing.
Yes.
And I didn't see you even drinking a cup of water or something like that. How you're able to sustain that?
See, because it's so many years of practice that has been put in. I've been singing for the last 35 years. Since I was 6 or 8, my training started. So I think any artist, you have to be prepared for that at least. Yes.
Now, as we come towards the end of our interview, one more thing I want to ask you is about Saregama. You were one of the early. Tell us about that.
That's right. Oh, that was another beautiful milestone in my life.
Okay.
Yes. I
So
remember.
we want to hear that. When it happened, how it happened, and what.
It happened after my marriage, after I came to Bombay,
Okay.
and yeah, that was, and at that now the format has changed. At that time, we had 3 levels, like a quarter-final, a semi-final, and then a final, and it was really tough back then because and the judges were like I told you, Gopi Nair ji and Anil Kuswas ji, Parveen Sultana ji, Jagjit Singh ji, all of these people, Sadeem Singh Joshi ji, all these people sitting there, and you had to sing. So, but you learn so much because you're in the spotlight. There are no retakes there, and and they had so many genres. We had folk, we had fusion, we had a no music round, we had a no tal round, and we had a rag semi-classical round. So it was beautiful, very
And which year was that when you participated?
I participated in 96.
96.
96.
Did you win at that time?
I won that.
Okay.
Yes,
And
and
who-
the other thing about that time was the special part was I was carrying my baby at that time. I was 7 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And now what is he doing? Your
My son is 21.
Is he
Yes.
also in music or no?
He loves music, but he doesn't sing. But he
Okay.
loves music.
Okay. So tell me about the Sarayama. Who were the other people competing with you? At that time?
The other ones one of them was Sanjeevni Belande.
Okay.
She's a very popular singer, and yeah, she was there. There were quite a few.
Sure. Okay. Excellent.
She's the one who's like is still very much in the.
So now you mentioned your marriage, so I have to ask you, how did you meet your husband?
Oh, we met through some common friends and relatives.
Okay, so
Yes.
it was more like an arranged marriage through a friend, or
I always say he's going to kill me for this.
Okay.
I always say love from his side and arranged from mine.
Okay. I've never heard of that expression.
No, that's original.
Okay, okay, excellent. Is he also in music or?
No, he's a businessman, but
Yeah.
he's very, very, very fond of music.
In
he
Bombay
loves music.
or?
Yes, in Bombay.
Okay.
He's my backbone, and he supports me 100%. Cooperates so much with me, and he's really my backbone. And the other thing I have to mention before we end this interview, my first guru is my mother.
Okay.
My grandfather, obviously, naturally, but my mother. She is the one who taught me my first song, my first Sindhi song, my first Hindi song. And she's not a professional singer, but she's a good singer. And she's my guru to date. She still corrects me. She still tell me what to sing. You know, like in the way, whether it's right, wrong, the pronunciation. She's my guru.
So,
My first
so now I asked you about your grandfather. What one
Yes,
thing you learned from him?
yes.
What did you learn from your mother?
From my mother, perfection,
Mhm.
which is very difficult because it's very tough to be perfect, very difficult to reach there, but that is the aim always, that if you sing, try and sing as best as you can, as correctly as you can, you know, and yeah, she's really worked hard with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, last thing, what is your message to all the Sindhis around the world?
My message is that we should just hold on to this. We have a very rich culture and heritage. I don't think we should let it slip from our fingers. And all it takes is a little effort on the part of Sindhis all over the world, a little effort to get out of your daily routine, spare a little time, you know, and organize such events, such programs, so that, you know, people...
You mean the program which was held last night?
Yes,
Yeah.
something like that on a bigger scale, smaller scale, that doesn't matter. But just keep it going. Don't stop. I know you have to, everybody is busy, everybody's occupied, but you have to spare a little time and, you know, pay little attention to our culture and music, because otherwise it's going to die.
Sure.
You have to, if you pot something, if you plant a seed, you have to water it. So we don't have to let the seed die. And we artists are always there, we are ready. And if events like this are organized, there'll be more people.
Sure,
You
sure.
know, because you know events are happening and everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that such a short notice it was, the hall
such
was
a good
full.
turnout.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good turnout.
So this is my message, and it's an earnest message that don't let this go, because we have a very, very, very rich culture and heritage. I don't think it'll be very sad if we lose.
And a lot of resilience in Sindhi people are. I
Yes,
know a lot of
yes,
my
yes,
friends
yes,
and
yes.
very hardworking.
Very
and,
hardworking,
you
very
know,
sincere. Yes,
sure,
yes,
excellent.
yes.
Well, thank you very much. It was really pleasure
Thank
to
you.
talk to you. And